It's fantasy playoff time. I hope you guys are in it. Let's get to some picks and get lit on this tree. Welcome back, you fantasy football elves. I hope you had an amazing week 13 out there. I did in 2 out of my 3 leagues. Unfortunately, we did lose in our Yahoo league. That is a shame. Lost by 6 points because of Robert Woods and Mostert going off. But we're still in the playoffs. Have a tough week 1 matchup and hoping to take home the W. Also, got first place and point leader in my other. Have another tough matchup. Hopefully gonna win the playoffs this week. Now, last week was a really weird week in fantasy football. A lot of the guys that were supposed to show didn't, and a lot of the guys that usually don't show did. So it was definitely a week of trying to figure out who does what, where, and when. But we are in the playoffs and there are some solid picks to go through, but not before we light up this tree. Oh, it's so merry. Irish cream cold brew. Get on this. Now you guys know how we start this off. We go QB first, and straight out of Carolina, we got Kyle Allen. Now, we worked with him last week. I built a lineup that did very well with him, and we're gonna go right back to it because of his value this week. He has to win to prove something in Carolina, especially now that they fired Ron Rivera. So expect a big game out of him, and we're gonna pair him with a wide receiver right after this. And right after this, I mean this. So we just talked about Kyle Allen and pairing him with his wide receiver, and that this week is going to be Curtis Samuel, not DJ Moore. Because Curtis Samuel is putting up just as good as numbers, yes, DJ Moore had that huge blow up last week, expect Curtis Samuel to have a nice floor at 15 points with the potential of having a huge breakout game this week, which I do expect because people are going to be paying a lot more attention to DJ Moore this week. And the next 2 guys have been just the best wide receivers in fantasy football all year. And this guy has been the best #1 wide receiver since week 5, and that is Devontae Parker. Dude, Devontae Parker, we've talked about him. We know what's happening. The guy is just a beast out there. He's bigger than everybody. He's got some strong ass hands, and he's just killing it out there. So let's just be smart. Put DP in your lineup this week as a nice solid play, along with DeAndre Hopkins. Because DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best wide receivers in fantasy football. He didn't have a huge game last week, even though he did throw for a touchdown, believe it or not. That made it a big week. But this week I do expect him to have another solid game. 15 points at least, maybe 25, and expect always a big blow up with DeAndre Hopkins. Now before we touch on those RBs, oh Christmas tree, let's get stoned, oh Christmas tree. Now let's jump into those RBs, and we're gonna go with the beast on the East. Guys, Derrick Henry. We talked about him. We're gonna continue to talk about him. He should be a solid in your lineup for the rest of season. He's gonna put up 150 plus. Tennessee needs to win. They're fighting for the AFC. Expect Derrick Henry to have another monster week. And another guy I've been weary on all year because of injury reasons, but came out of the gate last week really strong, was Darius, guys. Yes, he's sharing time with Adrian Peterson, but the talent's there. You could see it when he runs the ball. He's really hard to bring down. He's always lunging forward. I expect another solid game out of him. Maybe 15 points, 20 if on a high note. He could bust out for another big one if he catches the ball out of the backfield again because he has total space when that happens. Expect another huge game at that nice price of $4,900 for an RB2. Take it. And we are going to go with a sleeper on our flex this week because we saw Dalvin Cook get hurt last week. I expect Alexander Mattison to take a bigger role this week, especially when it comes to catching the balls out of the backfield. He put up 11 points last week, and that's nothing to sleep on. I expect another solid game out of him. And throwing him in your flex as a big-time play, considering they might want to rest Dalvin Cook the second half, he could end up with a nice 20 points. So with another value at $4,500, let's try some Mattison this week. I like that play. And now before we get into those tight ends and defense, smoky time. Now tight ends. And there's something synonymous with playoffs. That's Jack Doyle. Jack Doyle wins championships. Jack Doyle is going to win you a championship this year. If you did not pick him up waivers, sorry, you lost. I did, however, get the other guy out there, Tyler Higbee, who I do expect to have another big game this week. But watch out. Jack Doyle is the most solid tight end when it comes to Indy. They're also fighting for playoffs. Expect a huge day from Jack Doyle. And now lastly, the defense. We're going to go Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens have a tough matchup with Buffalo this week, but they're used to running quarterbacks. They play against them every week in practice. So that being said, I expect them to kind of handle Josh Allen a little bit. I don't want to start Josh Allen. I don't want to start any of those receivers this week. You can probably run with them, but again, I would watch out because of that strong defense against the run game. So Baltimore Ravens at $2,900 is a nice value play, especially to give you a nice 5 to 10 points in DK. And there we have our Week 14 lineup. Hopefully it's solid enough to get you guys in the money in regular play. Solid enough for tournament play. We're going to play with the big bucks in the flex position here and really hope for a big breakout game for Matson. I want to say good luck to all you guys out there in fantasy this week and up until Week 17. I've had a lot of fun this season talking to you guys during the regular season. We're rounding down with the playoffs. Hopefully some of you guys are in them. If you are, please comment down below. Let me know the teams you got. Let me know what you're working with. And I can't wait to see you guys ring that trophy this year. Good luck to you. Let's get that money. And before we get out of here, as always, we are gonna take a dab. And it's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be the lemon cake with the Connect and Bond from Happy Blaze. Yes. Now I'm gonna get out of here, but let's keep the conversation going. Make sure you guys follow me on GoStoner and all my socials out there, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, as well as make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe and do all the things you guys do out there. I hope you guys are taking a dab with me right now. I'll give you a moment to get out your rigs and do what you need to do as I sit here and go, hi. Okay, you got them, good. Now let's cheers to the fantasy football season and to all you guys that are in the playoffs right now, congrats to you. Good luck to you in the season. Make sure you keep doing what you're doing for the community. Stay beautiful, and most importantly, steal it.